everyone, welcome back to my channel. So my last video, I asked you guys for some questions that you guys wanted to ask me, and I really want to chat about that. So first of all, I do have another question for you guys. One of my friends brought this up that maybe I should do this video live. So is that something that you guys are interested in? And if so, I will try to see what I can do to figure that out. I don't have the best Wi-Fi out here, but we could probably figure out something. Anyways, if you have any more questions that you are dying to know, please go ahead and leave those in the comments and I will get to those in a later video. So my plan is to, I don't know, let's chat Thursday. I'm not really sure what day I'm going to do this, but I would like to do this weekly. So we'll see. So anyways, you guys you guys asked a lot of really great questions. So I want to go ahead and answer those for you. So I got a lot of questions about my self-care routine and my self-identity. So you guys, when I was growing up, when I was in high school, I didn't like myself. I didn't want to stand out at all, like at all. I was always a vintage lover, but I mean, you know how cruel kids can be. If you're different from anybody else, you're going to get picked on terribly. So I just kind of stayed quiet, you know, and then through my early 20s, I tried to find out who I was, and I don't know, things just didn't work out that great, and I lost my self-identity. So about, I don't know, 5 years ago, I was finally like, you know what, forget this. I had just had my last baby. I wasn't happy with myself, and the only thing I knew how to do is I had to change it. Nobody else could change my happiness. It had to start with me. So I did something drastic. I did something absolute crazy. I dyed my hair like Ariel red. I'm not joking, like Ariel red. It was my favorite hair color. I loved. I've had my hair all sorts of different colors. It's just hair, whatever. Rainbow hair, mermaid hair. I loved it. Anyways, and that pulled me out of my shell though. You can't really go to the grocery store and not be noticed. So what that did was really pulled me out of my shell, and people started talking to me, and so it was really weird because I had to learn how to interact with people that I used to hide from. And eventually I became a people person. And because of it, I love to be around people. Who would have thunk it? I didn't at the time when I was younger, but I really loved it. And then slowly I started pulling in how I felt. My grandmother was a huge inspiration for me. You know, that 1950s housewife, and that was huge for me. And that's something that I always, where's my time machine? Because I would love to go back into time. That is so my era, 40s and 50s. Oh, seriously. If you're working on a time machine, please let me know, because I will totally be a guinea pig for that. Anyways, I started dressing vintage. I started dressing how I felt. I started dressing very pin-up-y and very rockabilly, and I finally felt free. It was my thing. It was something, it was mine, and I felt like myself finally. And so, yes, of course, I got those crazy people and the stares and, oh, don't you know Halloween's in October? Okay, who cares? And you know what? I wasn't pleasing anybody. I was just there to please myself. And that's all that mattered. Was I happy with what I was wearing? Then I was fine with that. And was it over the top? Yeah, I can get really over the top. But I feel good about myself. And that is all that matters. So let's talk about self-care. When I think about self-care, I think about what are things that I can do in my life that make me feel good. Because the one thing about being a mom is you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of your family. And I didn't really get that when I first had kids. So my kids are 14, 12, and then we have a huge gap, and then our youngest is 5. And my mom used to tell me that all the time. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Yeah, whatever, I'm too busy. No, it's true. If I don't feel good about myself, how do you think that day is going to go? If I wake up in a bad mood, eventually my kids are going to be in a bad mood, or my husband's going to be in a bad mood. But if I wake up in a happy mood, it sets the tone for everybody. So self-care to me is finding things that make me happy. The very first thing that I do when I wake up is I go pour myself an iced coffee. It makes me happy. The very next thing that I do is I put on a full face of makeup. I'm obsessed with makeup, so this might not be for you. This is for me, so you guys need to find what makes you happy. What makes me happy is putting on a full face of makeup. And those who know me know that if I am not wearing my lashes, you better beware, because oh my goodness, if I'm not wearing my lashes, that means I am not having a great day. So for reals, full face. I get dressed and I put my shoes on. I might not be going anywhere. So like this week, I haven't gone anywhere this week, but I've gotten dressed and I've put my shoes on as if I'm going to go somewhere. And it doesn't matter. It makes me feel good. I'm not the type of person to get up and just stay in my pajamas. For me, personally, that actually really puts me in a very depressive state. I don't feel good about myself. Now this is different. I mean, you guys, I don't have young kids. I don't have babies or infants. And, you know, my routine was different when I was fostering, you know, our 2 little girls. And I always made sure though to make time for self-care, for myself, to put my makeup on. It might not have been a full face, but it was enough to make me feel good at that time. And so that is what I do. And the very next thing that I do when I'm finished getting ready for the day is I make my bed. So you guys can see I'm sitting on my bed. But anyways, I make my bed. My entire room might be thrashed, but if I open that door and I see that my bed is made, it really makes me feel good. It really sets the tone for that room. And so for me, these might be simple things, but this is what makes me happy and gives me a great start to the day. And when mom has a great start to the day, the rest of the day is going to go a little bit better than when mom starts out with a bad day. So that is what I think about self-care. Find something that makes you happy and do it every single day. Every single day. Only you can make yourself happy. So I hope that kind of, hopefully that kind of answers that question. If you'd like me to go more into depth about something, please leave questions in the comment section and I would love to answer those for you. So, how do I stay motivated to pull myself together? Like I said, this is something that I do every single morning. The very first thing, I wake up in the morning, I pour my coffee, and I get dressed. I might not feel good. Now, if I'm really sick, of course I'm not going to get, you know, a full face on or probably even dressed. That doesn't even count. We're not even gonna go there. But that is how I stay motivated. I do this every single day, even when I don't want to. It doesn't take me 5 minutes to do my face. I allow at least a half an hour to do my hair and my makeup. And if I can find even a bigger pocket and spend more time on that, then I will totally do it. So that's just for me. So guys, again, you might have smaller children, so this might not be something that works for you, or this might not even be something that you care about, and that's totally okay. Find something that makes you happy. And once you start fulfilling that small little thing, you're gonna start seeing that you are really motivated to do whatever tasks are ahead for the day. So that's just kind of, you know, what I like to do. Okay, so let's talk about style and fashion. So the story that I had talked about before I'm a huge vintage lover, so I do have some vintage pieces in my wardrobe. But what makes me really happy is the color black. So maybe one day I'll show my closet. It's kind of a mess right now. I still need to organize it, but you'll see that I have like a huge section of just black. That's okay. If it's black, it's mine. I love it. I don't know. I wouldn't say I have a huge, fashion sense. I love to dress pinup. So I have a lot of circle skirts, a lot of, really full frou-frou skirts, lots of petticoats, lots of corsets, lots of, craziness. I don't get into those all the time. If there's a special occasion, then you bet I'm going to go over the top crazy. I've got lots of frou-frou hats too. So find something that makes you happy. Who cares what anybody thinks? I get crazy looks all the time. People rolling their eyes at me. People think that I'm the devil because, I'm wearing something crazy, and at the time I had red hair or purple hair or blue hair. Who cares? Does it make you happy? That's the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that matters. And it even goes as far as I ask my husband for his opinion on things. Does that mean I agree with him? No. Because I need to make myself happy. I value his opinion a lot. I really do. Like, hey, I really don't like that. It's not my favorite outfit. Meh. I don't really care. Thank you for your opinion, but I love it. I'm still gonna wear it. So what makes you happy? Do something that makes you happy. Wear something that makes you happy. Don't care about what the other people think about it, as long as you're happy. I think I said happy like a million times within like the last 5 minutes. That's okay. Okay, so maintaining a clean house. Okay, so first I'm going to say we recently moved into a much bigger house. I'm talking about like we have a full 1,000 square feet more than what we had before. So that has helped a lot to keep my house clean, to be honest with you. But one thing that I really strive to do is everything needs to have its own place. Everything. If it doesn't have its own place and I cannot find a place for it, is it something that I really need? If not, I'm going to donate it. Obviously, I don't really need it. I get in a lot of trouble because sometimes I will, buy something, it's a total impulse, and now I'm like, oh gosh, where do I put this? I have no more room for it. If it cannot find a place in my house, I get rid of it. I also like to purge a lot, especially with clothes. Not only my clothes, my husband's clothes, but my kids' clothes too. This does not count on seasonal stuff, so obviously sweaters and then tank tops are completely separate, but have I worn this in the last 6 months during that season? If not, I'm getting rid of it, because what are the chances of me wanting to wear it again? So, that is what I do, purge a lot. Sometimes the kitchen can get ridiculously crazy, all those gadgets and craziness, whatever. Have you used it within the last 6 months? Unless it's, something that has sentimental value, why are you holding on to it? Get rid of it. So, get rid of that clutter. So that is a huge thing for me to keep my house clean. How I maintain it is my boys and I, when we're all getting ready for the day, when I've finished making my bed and my makeup and all that stuff, we start our chores. My boys have chores and I have chores, and we spend the next half an hour, depending on, how long it takes. It usually doesn't take more than a half an hour unless somebody's screwing off. But we work on our chores. And then we have a couple 5-minute pickups throughout the day. I don't like it when my husband comes home to a thrashed house. There's a difference between like a thrashed house and like, hey, we've been schooling all day, and so you're gonna see a ton of books. That does not count. Okay, I'm talking about toys and messes and food didn't get put away. Not okay to me. So we make sure to get all of that picked up at the time. So that is a big one for me, and that helps with the clutter. So one of the main things that we do every single day, it's a huge pet peeve of mine, is we sweep and we vacuum every single day. We do have a cat. She doesn't shed very much, but I don't like having animal fur. If somebody's sitting on my couch, I don't want them to get up and they're like a fuzzball. I don't like that at all. So we sweep and we vacuum every single day. And that really cuts down on a lot of dirt. So by the time the weekend comes, you know, doing a quick deep clean, it doesn't take very much time at all. So that is kind of what we do. This is just kind of what works for us. So find something that works for you. Delegate chores to your kids. We started our boys out with chores at as early as the age like 2 and 3. You know, they helped with things. You know, my 5-year-old now, he loves to sweep. You hand him the broom and he will sweep the house. Find something that they love and that they can help out with. And, you know, so I delegate those chores. That way, if, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen my 10-minute, you know, cleaning video, our house is usually not that messy if we just maintain it several times throughout the day versus all at once at the end of the day. It's cleaned throughout the day. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I didn't mumble through that. Okay. So another question was, if I was working, what would I be doing? So that's a really hard one. I probably would go I would probably go to beauty school. I have always wanted to be, you know, a beautician and do hair and, you know, makeup and stuff. That's my passion. I love that. I used to do hair for photo shoots and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So that would probably be something that I would be doing. But honestly, you guys, I'm doing what I love, being a mom, and I love staying at home. Not to get all sentimental or anything, but I actually love what I'm doing. So maybe someday I'll go back to school. I don't know. But what are my hobbies? I love to scrapbook. I love to sew. Wine tasting. That one's a good one. My dad's like makes wine, and I love tasting his wine. It's really good. So I don't know, but I guess sewing and scrapbooking would be kind of my top priority hobbies, I guess. And let's see, I think I went through majority of your questions. If I didn't get to your guys' questions, I will definitely be answering those in another video. So don't worry, I will be getting to them. So the last question for this video, what is your favorite devotional or spiritual books? So my favorite devotional would be The Prayer of Jabez. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this one I have read so many times, especially when I'm going through a really hard time. I love this book. It's really inspirational for me. So I've had this in my library for well over 10 years, and I always redo it, you know, once a year. So I really like this. So some spiritual books that I like, if you're more into, I'm more into like dark things, in case you didn't know that already. So one of my favorite authors is actually Frank Peretti. So this is just one of his books. I have several of them in my library, but this Present Darkness, it actually goes into, you know, the demons and all that stuff. So I really like this book, and he's a really great author. And then another really great motivator, and he's a really great author, is Max Lucado. So this one in particular, Facing Your Giants, is one of my favorites. I find it really inspirational. So if you're looking for a good spiritual book, those are my recommendations. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if this is something you want to do live instead, where you can ask me the questions and I can answer them live for you, please go ahead and let me know. If you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comment section. and I will either do them in a video or I will answer them on the spot depending on what they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I'm sure this was super long. I talk a lot, but I appreciate you guys so much. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.